So I'll just talk for the first little bit.
Okay.
I'll do a lot of this setup. You won't have to do this again, but then you can always look back.
Okay.
So this 9 squares,
Mm-hmm.
it's basically where all your classes are, right?
Yeah.
But see all these squares, these bigger ones down here?
Yeah.
When we take them off of here, because we don't need all these now we're not deleting anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
We are just simply going through and leaving you with the one that you have, right? So
Can I ask a question? No,
Yeah.
every year do I have to set it up?
yeah, and we
Again?
just pull it over.
Okay.
We just everything you did, we can just pull over,
Okay.
and it's quick.
Okay.
Now, say you don't like the mountains, right?
Mhm.
You can go in here from the DSBN teacher resource page, and you can change the image.
Okay.
So when we change the image, I'll just do one quick. Like, just tell me if you like it. Kids like this one.
Mhm.
I don't know if you like Lego. If
Sure.
there's anything you want, you just come in here and
Okay.
change it. You could put fall. You could put whatever.
And does it have to be something from there, or can I use my own image?
Yeah. If
Okay.
you're hardcore, see and
Yeah.
change image.
Okay.
You can upload an image.
I can. Okay. Perfect.
When you take an image in, search it and get a big image.
Okay.
So in Google,
Yeah, with
do you know how to do that in
Yeah,
Google? Like,
yeah.
okay, perfect. So you get a high quality resolution image,
Yeah.
and know that it's going to cut it, right? Like,
Yeah.
so it's going to
So
give
it
it's
can
going to
crop
give you like
as
a yeah. So I'm going to get out of here. So now that we've set that, right, you'll see that image is what sits at the top.
Okay. Yep.
Now in edit course, you won't have to do any of this because I'll do it for you. In course offering, there's the name. So you said you're teaching a
I'm
grade
just straight 3 now.
straight
yeah.
3.
Mhm.
And so you could say grade 3, or you could say something like this. Is it Mrs. or Mrs.?
Mrs.
So Mrs. Solyum's class, right?
Can I say superstars? Because that's what my account.
I love it. I was going to say, I didn't know if you had a name.
Oh yeah.
So superstars, right?
Yeah.
So when you save that, now when the kids come in, that's what you're going to see when you log in now.
Okay.
And you're going to see, so if you refresh that page right there, just by clicking on DSP
Okay.
Teacher Resource, you're going to see that there it is, and it's called the Superstars. Or if you scroll down just a bit, you go full screen. I have like an issue with that. It's like when you do tech all day, you're like,
Mhm.
and this computer is really close. So we'll bring it, there you go.
Yeah.
So now you're the Superstars. So
Yeah.
if you click on that, you can go in.
So I can click on the image, or I
Yeah.
have to click the hyperlink.
Yeah, I think you can actually click on the image.
Okay.
Now, this is a generic page, right?
Mhm.
This isn't your grade 3 page. So what we'll do right now is we'll set that up.
Okay.
Now, again, you don't really need to do this once I set it up. This pencil is so important, but it's light gray, meaning it says you don't have permission to edit it. It's because
Okay.
it's a master homepage.
Okay.
So what we've done in the cog is we've created master homepages for every grade.
Okay.
So this grade 3 one's the one you want, but you don't want it because you could just select the master,
Okay.
right? But then you
Yeah.
can't edit it.
Okay.
So if you make a copy of it, D2L allows you to make a copy. So now you have your own personal copy.
Okay.
And then you select the copy. Again, you're not going to do this for 10 months, so don't even worry about
Yeah.
it. But you could always come back to this video and watch it. So now that we apply it, if I go back to your home page, you're going to see that you have the grade 3 carousel,
Mm-hmm.
and you have all these app icons.
Mhm.
So very
Can
quick.
I add apps?
Yeah, we're
Okay,
getting there.
okay,
We're going to
alright,
do
alright.
it.
Okay. Sorry.
So I have this thought out. So Pixton's this amazing comic. We have a license for
Okay.
that from the ministry, and it's no license in here. You click
Okay.
on that, sets up your class. Students click on it, they log into your class. It's sensational. I can
Okay.
co-teach it. These two are good for research. Both
Okay.
require usernames and passwords, but
Okay.
in D2L they don't.
Okay.
Have a look at Britannica if you haven't looked at it.
Okay.
Especially grade 3. Like say you're getting out of Pebble Go, kind of too primary for you.
Mm-hmm.
This thing is insane. So say they wanted them to do research on something, they can go in here and do all this research. It will read it to them.
Mm.
They have different reading levels.
So do they have? You can do research, for instance, if you're doing something like on social studies and the different regions of Ontario. for
Oh, you want to
instance.
see something?
Yeah.
Ready for this? Watch
Okay.
this. So they have a Canada in focus.
Oh, okay.
So if you were doing provinces, territories, you could go in here and say, and do whatever, right?
Yeah.
And so here's
And
cities.
it still will read to them if they can't read it.
Everything you
Awesome.
want, like board and PEI,
Town, Prince County.
right?
Okay, yeah.
So it's a really powerful tool, especially for like social studies,
Yeah.
and it's also got a built-in world atlas.
Okay.
So you can go in here, right, and go Ontario. It will zoom in on Ontario. It's got the same ability as Google Maps to go fully satellite on something, right? And then it will even give you a profile
Mhm.
of the country
Oh, cool.
So it's pretty intense.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another one. And so this one, and Bookflix, they're all integrated, meaning they collect the username and password.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't have to log into them. They log
Okay.
automatically in. Same with Dreambox. If
Yeah.
you were to go to Dreambox, you would end up at your dashboard.
Okay.
Student would end up going right into their account. They wouldn't have to select account, or you don't
Okay.
need a separate username or password. And this one is the only one that exists only in D2L. So what this is carousels. So what do you teach right now? You teach in math, language?
All the core subjects.
Yeah. So say in math, you were teaching and you're doing something in geometry. Hey, how's it going? So are you in geometry right now?
I'm not following the scope and sequence. I'm doing
Love it.
numeration. Well, numeration. I'm doing
So-
place value.
So see number sense,
Yeah.
right? You could go in here and go, what's that one? Places, please, right?
Mm-hmm.
And these are all interactive tutorials created by teachers for teachers,
Okay.
ministry funded, no commercials, reads everything.
Okay.
And so if you wanted to do these, whether it be full class, like whole class at the smartboard, or whether it wants to be one-on-one, you can support student learning with this, right?
Okay.
So right off the top, without doing anything, you have that top bar,
Mm-hmm.
right? But if you go to the bottom, now that little pencil is there. Right?
Yeah. So now I can edit.
So when you edit that, watch what happens. You go, and then when people come in and they edit it, they're like, well, what do you mean edit it? Like, well, look at this page.
Yeah.
The key is to scroll down. You can do any of this if you want, but if you scroll down,
Mm-hmm.
here's the apps we had at the top. Remember, we had our news, calendar, and content. But see, add a widget.
Mm-hmm.
A widget is just a space on a home page,
Okay.
right? So you go add a widget, and you were obviously thinking, what other ones would you like to add?
Spellingcity.com. I have my own.
So there's Spelling City.
Yeah.
So you can
So
search
actually,
it.
yeah, but I'd like to have it where it goes directly to
Now,
my.
we might not be able to do that because we
Okay.
don't have the username. We don't have the license as a board.
Okay.
But we could see how far we could get you. We could get
Okay.
you closer than you were. Are there any other
Okay.
ones?
I think it's called Dance Mat Typing.
Yeah, we have that. Dance mat typing.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Now, I'm looking more for also for read alouds where the kids, like it used to be Tumble Books, but you need to have a.
Yeah. So PebbleGo and Botanic are good for that. Bookflix and Storyline Online are good
Okay.
for that. Those are three. The big one people are using right now for read round, you'd have to get a license. They'd have to log in as Epic.
Okay.
This is the one. People are using this all over
So
the
you have
place.
to. It's like you have to buy it.
But yeah, no, it's free for educators.
Okay,
and then
all right.
yeah, and so if you want to bring it up on the smart board or you want kids
Okay.
to go in through your account, you can do
Okay.
that. People find workarounds for that.
Okay.
But essentially, what it comes down to now, say you want some math ones, right?
Yeah.
I know scope is not your thing, but because you're going a different order. But these are all the ones they kind of talk about
Yeah.
in scope and sequence. This one is incredible. This math mobiles. So if you're looking to support math in any way, to
Mhm.
support language in any way, to support whatever, you can put those in. And these all move. So if you click on
Okay.
it, you can move them around. So you could categorize them
Okay.
or you could prioritize them. Like
So
say,
can you group them as like in a folder
no,
rather than
you,
having a whole bunch?
well, we
listed?
could. You'll see what this looks
Okay.
like, right? But then if you want to go all folder based, we
Okay.
can do that as well.
Okay.
But watch how this looks. Because what's going to happen is the students are going to come in and now they're going to have access to all of those.
Mhm.
And they're going to be easy to find,
Mhm.
right? So if they want to go to Spelling City,
So they could essentially do a backslash and put Solyum's backslash in that.
well, I could change that link later
Yeah.
to go to Solyum's. But
Okay.
like if it has a username and password, they
No, they don't need to have a password.
Oh, yeah.
So I have it, and they can just go on to spellingcity.com/Solyums.
I can do it. I'll
And
change
then-
that for you. I'll change that link later, so
Yeah.
I could give you one click then.
Okay.
So these kind of think of these ones are because what's going to happen is when you post in your news, right?
Mhm.
Your news is going to get long and there's going to be a blank space down the
Mhm.
right hand side. You can fill that with whatever you want. So I would
Okay.
fill that with the most regular sites you go to.
Yeah.
But we also have the ability for you to do folders and we can talk about that if we have time. So you
Okay.
could have a folder that said typing, spelling, math,
Yeah.
regulation, whatever you wanted.
Okay.
And you could
Okay.
have folders if that's the
Okay.
way you want to
Yeah.
do it. So
Because I tend to get a lot of things, and then it gets overwhelming. So I'm trying to make it so it's...
yeah, for sure. Well, that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
So you know what the doors are?
Yep.
This
Mhm.
essentially becomes your doors.
My doors,
Your
yeah.
custom-made
Yeah,
doors, and you
okay.
could custom make them in no time.
Yeah.
So
okay.
now one of the biggest tricks is, So right off the bat is when people always say to me, like if I was to ask you, what are you using D2L for? Is it parent communication? Is that part of
Well,
it?
that's part of it that I would like. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And so the other part is a teaching tool. So so we talk about D2L as it's the ultimate navigational tool.
Yeah.
So the trick is getting kids to log into a Chromebook or a PC and automatically log into D2L.
Yeah.
Now you have full control.
Yeah.
So now you can say, guys, I need you to go into Britannica and start your reading. I need you to go to Bookflix. I need you to go to Dreambox. And they're not hitting usernames or passwords issues.
Yeah.
So, and the other thing is we can queue them up to anywhere you want on the internet by putting links and videos in.
Oh, cool.
And so here's the surprising one that people don't think about using D2L for as a presentation tool. So, like, how would you present? If you wanted to show a video in class or you wanted to show a link in class, how would you do it?
I usually make a smartboard presentation, do a link through the smartboard.
So, and that's what I do. And that's what but that is painful.
Yes,
and the reason why it's painful is because, you're actually one step ahead of most teachers because most teachers present out of browsers. Yeah. So they present out of Google or they present out of YouTube. And then so you're doing it in Smart Notebook because you're trying to streamline that process of how you get it. The problem is you're using a program that's software into your computer that unless you're on that computer, you can't do it. And Smart Notebook's so slow to kick up.
Yes, and mine can't even be up. The computer I'm using presently, I can't even. I had the tech come in and they said I can't update it.
I'm about to change your whole world right now.
Because it's like,
Okay, I'll just do something. What I'll do is I'll talk to you. I'll show you the steps on here. And then we'll go back and play with it just for the video's sake. Okay. So I'll show you how to do some stuff on here, and then we'll take you back through it. Okay. Right? Just because the video, so it's not too long. So picture being able to do this. So this is the news item. You can go to new news item. And inside of here, if you were, say, going into the lab or wanting to communicate with parents, you can just put text in here, right? And you can change the font, size, color. It's just like an email, right? Yeah. But if this is the button that brings it to a whole different level, this first button called Insert Stuff. So let's just say today you wanted to show a video in class right now. So what you would do is you'd pull up Smart Notebook and embed the link or the video. What if you could go to YouTube directly and say, what kind of stuff are you doing? Like, you said you're doing place value. Yeah. Place value, right? Yeah. So let's just say you're doing place value. This guy's amazing, Math Antics. Yeah. So, and you said, I want to show this video to my class. You could click on it. You can watch it right here. So you could say, is this preview? You can preview it in that little window. Okay. You'll see it's that guy right there. Yeah. It's got how many views, number of time, and you go, yeah, I like this. 2 clicks. Next. Insert. Now that video is embedded in D2L. Okay. So, and then you always have to put
and it's going to be saved so I can add a whole bunch?
Yeah, you put as many as you want. All right. So let's say you say place value, right? Now watch this feature. You can actually start date it. So you can say, I don't want to show this till Monday at 9:30. Yeah. Say it's a commercial you're doing here. It's a real fun video that you don't want the kids to see over the weekend because they're coming in. You can post it. Now picture this. I post it, right? And so here's the next trick. You have D2L on your screen all day, every day. So you walk into the school, log into D2L on that computer, right? Yeah. Because now you could do this. You could walk into the classroom. You could be on this computer down here. Yeah. You could walk in the classroom and say, guys, have a seat. You could refresh your page by clicking on your name. Yeah. That video will be there, and your 2 clicks. No commercials, nothing around the outside. But here's the deal. As much as you were advanced using Smart Notebook, if I asked you this question, how many videos have you ever showed kids that you've given them access to?
None.
Yeah, that's my answer, right? Yeah. So that was my exact answer, like 10 years ago, till I figured this out in the classroom is, now look at this. How many times have you given the kid the ability to watch something and go, oh, I didn't get that. Yeah, let's go back. Cool. Or go into the lab and watch videos, or go home and watch videos, or watch videos before the lesson. We now have the ability to post anything in this environment and walk into a classroom and present it.
So can you, can you, for instance, if I have a supply?
Yeah, we can create you a supply one. Yeah, we can create something.
So is it something where it can be a general where the supplies, because depending on who's coming in?
We give you a generic code that they can come in with, right? Now, they wouldn't be able to post in it, but they could pull it up.
So I'm saying if I have a lesson saying that this is what I want to have.
Yeah, for sure.
The supply could
We
go
could
in
do- yep.
because, like right now, what I'm always putting it on a USB and saying, "Here you go."
No,
here's
no,
my...
no, no, yeah. No, so not to say SmartBook isn't useful. If you're taking notes off it or using the interactive piece, for sure use it. But if you're just trying to post videos and links, and it becomes arduous because you can only do it from that computer, and it takes forever to load up, and kids don't have access.
Yeah.
So, and here's another one, right? So you mentioned, let's see. So let's say I'll go to, let's just say ABC, right? Just because for some, now I'm just literally picking any activity, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to go to, I like this one though, base 10 fun. So say you're doing stuff with base 10, right? So you can now, if kids know to get into D2L, you can copy any link from any site that's not username or password protected. So if you had a license to a site, like say you bought a license, you can't bypass that.
Yeah.
But say this one's open, right? Or say it's you wanted them to read an article on Ontario, like a web. You wanted to take them to the Ontario government webpage. You could take that URL. You can copy any URL, right? It's the same process every time. You go new news item. You could type. Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Hi.
When
You're being recorded, by the way.
Oh. Careful what I say.
Yeah.
When you're done here and you go back to the supply teacher, can you tell her to go to the playground, the kindergarten playground for Lisa Gall?
Okay. Yep.
Thank you.
So do we have 15 minutes the first time?
Yeah, 15
and then
minutes,
you'll be back.
and then
so what we'll do now is we'll show you, and then you can come back and play.
Okay.
And so in here, insert stuff. So notice I'm doing the same thing, but look under there. There's a link. So let's just say right now you want them to do this, right? Maybe they're going into the lab and they're doing some Dreambox, then you want them to finish it. Watch this. See link text? You could write click here to practice base 10, right?
Okay, so that's their,
This link text. So now that's what they see.
Okay.
So instead of them seeing a big sloppy URL, you could go try this.
Yes, that means you, Austin.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. That means exactly you. So watch this. So instead of them going in and getting lost in ABC and doing whatever they want, the kids
will go directly to the lesson that I want at ABC.
Yeah, watch this.
Yeah.
So I click it. They're one click there. No more navigation.
Yeah.
But here's the deal. Even if you want to use this in class, right? Let's say it's a website you want to bring up in class or whatever. You put it in here, but when you put it in here, it gives them access to gain access to whenever they want. But here's another thing. The byproduct of what I'm doing right now is parent communication. So this is going to save you time, guaranteed using this, right? It's going to be way easier. You're going to be able to do it off your phone in a doctor's office. You're going to be able to do it off that computer. You're going to be able to do it anywhere you want. You can post and set up stuff. But not only that, as you do this, parents are like, oh, check out that. They're supporting kids in math. Oh, there's a place value video. That is how you support parents. Parents, if you sat in a parent-teacher interview and you said, with a kid and said, who do you want me to support? I'm using D2L. Would you like me to support you, the parent, or your child? They'd be like, child, 100%. Yeah. People who are most impressed with D2L, it's because they can see the teacher targeting the student, not targeting the parent. We tend to, with parent communication, want to go over the student's head. It's the exact opposite. We should be going at the student because it's the student that will go home and say, Mom, you got to see this video we watched in class, or check out this cool activity. Or they say the parent said, what do you do in class today? And they say, well, we're working on base 10. They go, what's base 10? Well, let's go to D2L. I'll show you. And then that activity sits there. Okay. Now, it does a bunch more than this. It's got one in here. When you were talking to the fly teacher, I was like, oh, she's going to love this. I don't know if you would do it. I think you would with your personality. See an insert. See, it's the same button every time?
Yeah.
Watch this one. Ready for this? So watch this. Hey guys, sorry I couldn't be here today. I had a math workshop. You should be in the lab right now. In the lab, I need you to hit your Dreambox 2 lessons. Following Dreambox, go to Spelling City and at least do 2 lessons for me. And then at the end, you could do anything on the top row D2L. You know, I miss you guys and I'll see you tomorrow.
Oh, that's cool.
Now watch this. I can then, right? Put a little message in there. Come on. This will then throw it into your news feed, right? There it goes. Doesn't look like it yet because it takes a second to render, right? I like to center things up. I got a little problem with that. But then within like a minute, now you could post that. Now you could preset that to show up in the morning.
Yeah.
So say your supply teacher comes in.
Yeah.
What if you could be on screen and lay out the day? and that quickly.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so think of that for parent communication.
Mhm.
They see, okay, I get to know my teacher a little better.
Yeah.
I get to see how she's talking to the kids. I get to, or say it's like they're having a quiz,
Yeah.
or they're doing something. You could be in there, guys. Remember, we have the quiz coming up. I really remember you need to do this, this, and this. So
Yeah.
the parent can't come back at you and say, well, you never told my kid.
Yeah,
You could
yeah.
say, well, what do you mean I never told your
Yeah,
kid?
it's right there.
I
Yeah.
told you guys. So
Yeah.
it's just certain people have confidence with
Yeah.
videotaping
Yeah.
themselves. I have no issues with it, obviously.
Yeah.
So, and then I'll just go through the other couple things that we can play. So the other one, new news item, is in here, is you can insert any file from your computer.
Okay.
So say it was like a PDF, or say you had some.
And can you do it where it then becomes private though? So if I want to do a file and I don't want, I guess.
You don't want parents.
Yeah, like I guess I have the control by saying when it would actually be.
Yeah, you can draft it off,
Yeah.
and if you want a file in there that only you see, we can put it in a folder and draft it.
Okay.
But this is good because say you had a newsletter, or say you had some instructions, or say you had a rubric, or whatever it is you
Mhm.
were doing, or say you found a really good reading resource, or you were
Okay.
using like A to Z and you had them
Yeah.
in a PDF form. You could go in there, choose a file, and then upload it.
Okay.
But then look, you have link text. So let's just say this was a rubric for an assignment,
Yeah.
right? You could insert it and then say rubric, right? Whatever. Well, like that. That was supposed to be rubric somehow. So imagine now how easy it would be, or if parents were saying, like, say you had an assignment that was due in 2 weeks, and you
Yeah.
had like the outline for it, and kids always lose those
Yeah.
things, or parents don't know. You could just post that, and now
Okay.
the parent has access to the PDF
Okay.
completely,
Yeah.
and they could print it and download it, do whatever they want with
Oh,
it.
that's
That
cool.
could be a calendar. So any file, like say you ever do this, like so you have like a rubric or something, and you go, let's go to the lab, and you say bring your rubric,
and
and they
they
all
don't-
disappear,
yeah,
and their desks are upside
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
What if you just said, guys, we're going to the lab, I put your rubric in D2L, so we don't need to worry about bringing it, let's
Yeah.
just go, and if you need to look at it.
I'm laughing that you're saying a lab. We don't have a lab. But
Or bring them into the classroom, right? Yeah.
With my 5 computers.
Okay, look at this. Today I had a math workshop. You
Yeah.
should be in the lab right now. How slick is that?
Yeah.
Right.
That's pretty cool.
So and then and I know I'm flooding you with stuff, but we'll have time to play. And
Yeah.
you'll notice I'm doing the same thing every time. I'm going
Yeah.
new news item, insert stuff, right?
It's like I have this one thing that I do in my class that's trying to be an enrichment for my really bright kids, and it's every day they get it's a mystery thing or mystery person,
Yeah.
and every day a new clue comes up.
Yeah.
And I'm also encouraging they can do it at home as well.
Yeah.
So this would be a great thing where I
differentiation.
could every week do the whole clue, but then insert it where every day a new clue comes up.
And you could do that ahead of time.
Yeah,
Like, so
that's
on the
what I'm
weekend you
thinking.
could post
Yeah.
1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4. You could
And then link it up of when it was going to come out.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then you're not doing it. You're guys. You can say tomorrow the next clue's coming out. It's like
Yeah.
and you're not actually having to go in the morning and do
Yeah.
it. You see, this is what I love about this, right? This is why I say teacher autonomy is so important. Is I'm not going to give you any way to use this.
Yeah.
I love how you're looking at your job and going, what am I doing, and how can this tool
Okay.
help? That's what
Yeah.
you need to do from this point on. Not how are other people? Because everyone always says to me, I would love to see what other people are doing. That's fine, but it needs to be like, what are you doing in the classroom that
Yeah.
is causing you issues,
Yeah.
and or what would you like to streamline, or where do you feel your class needs support, and then go from there, right?
Okay.
So here's the other one.
So I don't know if the time is up.
Oh yeah, sorry, it does embed code. So if you're using
Okay.
anything like Google Slides,
Okay.
Remind 101, Twitter, anything like that, we can embed that in D2L.
Okay.
And then it's also got Learn 360. So when you were
Okay.
talking about Learn 360, have you ever seen it? It's published
Yeah.
videos.
Yeah.
So you could say Ontario govern. I don't know if this will have it. Should. It's Ontario bought it. Ontario's House of Government, right? You
Mhm.
like it, you embed it, you allow it, and then you insert it. And then
Okay.
there it is.
And there it is.
And
yeah.
so if I was to put something in here, this video now, which is really hard to get to, Learn 360 is hard to find.
Yeah.
It's now just like YouTube, and now you could watch it and go full screen. And likewise,
North of University Ave.
I find with those, watch them because some of them are old.
Yeah.
So you're like, well, this is outdated.
Yeah,
I find that a lot of them are old. So, but if you're looking into it, so so it's the same algorithm. It's always to put any media content is
Mhm.
new news item, and then it's this button. Is
Okay.
everything I showed you is new news
always-
item, that, and then just look for what it is you're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you do it, you just post it.
Okay.
So that's a good, I'll stop the video recording now because
Yeah.
you'll get going. And then when you come back trying to think of what kind of stuff do you want to put in there.
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
what we'll do is we'll just give you time to work beside me. And then we might show you the calendar, the content tool if we have time.
Okay.
But yeah, and then you get yourself out of doing all that stuff in Smart and switch it over to D2L.
Yeah.
And then the kids are seeing it all day. And if you're using it like you're using Smart Notebook for all this, it becomes authentic parent communication.
Yeah.
And then when parents come in and say, well, what are you doing? You say, here's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, cool. That's,
Okay.
yeah, thanks.
Okay.
Okay, so I guess.
Log in.